Rev up your engines!
Chrysler's at it again. Ram, I should say Stellantis. They now have a Ram 1200. You think, ooh, a little Ram 1200 pickup, great. It's just a rebanded piece of crap Fiat. Fiat Titano. Now, as you can see by the picture, they're trying to make it look like a Ram truck. But that's all sheet metal and plastic, baby. It's a piece of crap. They've got the Jeep Renegade. That's just a stupid Fiat rebranded four-wheel drive vehicle, which is a pile of junk. Now they're making Ram pickup trucks that are Fiats. It's just ridiculous. You know, if you get suckered into buying one of these things, I feel sorry for you. You got to do a lot of research before you buy anything. Ask guys like me the truth about the vehicle. Where is it made? What's its history, right? The name Ram means nothing now. It's all watered down. It doesn't mean anything whatsoever. It's meaningless. And now they got a Fiat Peugeot truck and they're calling it a Ram 1200 little truck. It's all nonsense. Got to do research when you buy things these days, right? I mean, for a while in Europe, Germany was selling pickup trucks. They were just rebranded Nissan pickup trucks, right? But they had a Mercedes star and everything. I guess they fooled a few fools, but they didn't seem to sell it. Well, the Europeans figured that one out pretty fast. Hey, I'm not getting a Mercedes truck. I'm getting some stinking Nissan that's just got Mercedes emblems glued onto it. In this case, it's Ram, and it's a Fiat. Well, if you haven't noticed, auto insurance rates have jumped the most since the 1970s. From 1 year ago, the average insurance cars are up 22.6%. This is just ridiculous, right? The government lies to us and says, we only have 2.6% inflation. Yeah, baloney. Look at the insurance rate. What do they care? I see so much fraud in the insurance business myself. All the insurance companies do, if they pay something, then they just raise their rates, so they don't care. I've seen people get cars totaled. Cars should have never been totaled, but the insurance company, they didn't want to deal with it, so they just totaled it, and then the money that they threw out, they just raised everybody else's premium. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, this 22.6% increase is the largest since 1979, so we're going back 45 years. It's ridiculous. And here's what an economist said. Recent trends probably do not mean your premium will fall, but we think the rate of increase should slow down. They're just greedy swines. Well, they're not going to give us any of that money back. They'll just charge us less instead of more in the future, right? Economic analysts are idiots. Here's what they say. Soaring auto insurance costs have been a principal driver behind inflation over the past year. There's only so much you pay for your car insurance, right? It's not that gigantic of a thing when you compare it to everything else you buy, right? But they try to blame it on car insurance, right? No, groceries cost more, your electric bills are a ton more, everything's more, right? But then they try to blame it on soaring insurance costs, right? They're always these economists. They used to call it, when I went to school, was the science of the obvious. I asked one of my friends once who was majoring in economics, and he showed me this 2-page calculus formula, right? So I looked at it. I said, well, what the heck does that mean? He says, basically it means that people lose their jobs, the unemployment rate goes up. Yes, the science of the obvious. And in this case, they just make up things. They even sound totally absurd. How can you blame the primary thing of inflation just being car insurance? And here's what the insurance say. Well, it's higher because there are higher vehicle prices, increased costs for repairs, and more accidents as driving trends return to normal after COVID. What a line of horse manure. During COVID, some people got a little bit of money back on their insurance premiums, right? A real tiny bit. But then, now, well, let's raise them 23%. What the heck? We'll just raise it like mad. There's nothing these people can do, right? We got the politicians in our back pockets. You know how much money the insurance companies give the politicians to get elected? It would make you throw up if you found the actual figures on that, right? And then they're trying to say, well, we're going to have disinflation instead of inflation, right? We think further improvements is one key for the Fed to become more confident in this disinflationary process and start its cutting cycle. They want to cut the interest rate, right? Because basically, the greedy corporations want to be able to borrow money for just about nothing, make a big profit, or if they go bankrupt, it's not their money, they borrowed the money anyways, right? So the people they're buying the money from taking all the risk, and then they want to pay them even less interest that they're already paying them, which is crappy to begin with, right? It's an unbelievably rigged system. Well, stay away from Morrison, Colorado, because they just put up a traffic camera, and it gave 10,000 plus tickets in 2 weeks to speeding people. staple. If you don't know what Morrison is, that's where they have that Red Rocks Festival, all the music festivals. You watch stuff on YouTube, you'll see all the famous musicians playing there and the cool Red Rocks and stuff, right? Well, these guys in Morrison are scumbags. For a long time, it's been moneymaker for their little town, right? It's just they got money grab for speed traps. In 2 weeks, their new speed camera gave out 10,287 tickets. In 2021, before even the speed cameras, Morrison, Colorado, got half of its town's budget from traffic fines. They made the speed limit 20 miles an hour. Okay, you're going down a highway, all of a sudden you're in some stinking town. It's bad enough when I was young that they lowered the speed limit to 30. These clowns have lowered it to like 20 miles an hour. What a bunch of scumbags in Morrison, Colorado. You know what I say? Never drive through Morrison, Colorado because they're scumbags. Don't buy anything from any of their stores. Don't buy gasoline there. Just, if you look at a map, try to bypass the place because they're scumbags. 10,000 something tickets in 2 weeks. That's just ridiculous. It's all done by a machine too. Great, you know. Machine sends you a speeding ticket. It's ridiculous. In towns like this, it should be illegal. There are some states that are making that illegal. They're making it illegal for small towns to put in speed cameras and have things like that because they know it's just a money grab. And the chief of police, listen to these scumbags. The chief of police says, I've been here for 2 years. I haven't seen a decrease in speeding. Okay, so he's admitting being a speed trap hasn't decreased their speeding. But he also says, the new camera isn't a money grab. We want to make sure you have a good experience and you're safe. Well, he already admitted they haven't had a decrease in the speed. Yeah, they're still making more and more tickets. Oh, it's not a money grab. It's to make people safe. No, it isn't. It's a money grab. Come on. Call a spade a spade. It should say, welcome to Morrison, the speed trap capital of the world. I can't see one place writing any more than 10,000 tickets in a couple of weeks, right? All done by machine. These people are scumbags. My advice, stay away from that town. Stay away from Red Rock. Let them lose a whole bunch of money. Then maybe they'll stop it. Because I remember when I was a kid years ago, I drove down to Florida, to the Keys, right? And I got a speeding ticket. And that was when they had changed the speed limit to 55. You know, I get a ticket. Well, I had a New York State license. But supposedly Florida had a reciprocal agreement with New York State. So they gave me this $200-something speeding fine. I went back to New York and I had to pay it. Or they'd do something to your license. So I paid it. Guess what? About 3 months later, I got the money back because people obviously had fought it and said, if you're going to give us all speeding tickets in Florida, screw you. We're not going to go vacation in Florida anymore. Or Florida makes an awful lot of money in vacations, so they gave the money back. So you can fight these places. Don't do business with them, and they'll have to change their modus operandi. Otherwise, nobody will do business in their stinking little towns and go to their little music concerts if they're going to treat people like this. Now, here's something I can't help but laugh at. Elon Musk's invention to kill solar panels. This produces energy even at night. Now they're talking about his roofing tiles have the solar stuff built into them, right? And it says it even produces power at night. Yeah, hardly any and only once in a while, right? If you got a full moon as big as it gets and there's no clouds in the sky, for a few hours, it can create half a kilowatt hour of energy for the whole night. That'd be if the full moon's out, it's out all the time. For the whole night, it creates half a kilowatt of energy, right? The average house uses 30 kilowatt hours a day. So numero uno, peanut energy at the night. It's just a joke. Why they say, it can create energy at night. Oh yeah, on a full moon, which is once in a while for just a few hours, right? Because the moon moves around, right? It isn't like the sun where it's super bright. It's hardly bright at all, right? There isn't that much energy. Talk about a line of horse manure, right? And what does it cost? Outrageously expensive. 75% more than conventional solar panels. For a 10 kilowatt system, it costs about 64 grand. Now remember, Americans use 30 kilowatts, so it's only going to be able to power 1/3 of an average house to begin with. But get this, not only does it cost all that money, it requires the entire roof replacement. Yep. And how long is it going to last? Well, they claim 20-something years. I wouldn't bet the bank on that, right? But still, if it lasted 20 years, every 20 years, you'd have to spend, it's not going to be 64 grand. If it's 64 grand now, 20 years from now, it would probably be 164 grand, right? You keep shelling this in. To get this tiny amount of electricity Right? It's just absurd, the crap that they try to sell and the way they try to sell it. It even makes power at night, blah, 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 blah. And let's see what really happens. The guarantees, you know. He'll probably say, oh, it's lifetime guarantee, lifetime, yeah, lifetime, la, la, la. What do you mean by lifetime? Well, the lifetime of the panels. Now they're broken, so that's the end of their lifetime. You know, they do crap like that all the time, right? If you want to waste that kind of money on those things, be my guest. Just let me warn you. You're peeing your money down the toilet. You're buying super expensive stuff. You got to do the whole roof over to do it. I say when it comes to any of that stuff, wait. The technology in solar cells is so fastly changing. Don't waste your money now on technology that doesn't work that well. It doesn't create that much electricity either. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.